Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of Nostalgia Bait. You are joined today by Wallace and Gromit in real life. Obviously, it is Cooper Britton as always, and George as always. We're always here.
Oh, welcome to the episode. That's a good intro.
You will never get rid of us.
Got a bit of two in one there. Wallace and Gromit in real life. Got the real life meme in there. Oh god,
Yeah,
we're smashing it a minute in. Love that.
We are cooking.
We're talking about Wallace and Gromit
today. That if the intro didn't give it away, it is getting close, very close to Christmas.
Yes.
It is the season to be merry. We have a lot of Christmas specials coming up, but we thought we would talk about the return of the king.
Yeah.
Of Lord of the Rings film. We would talk about Wallace and Gromit. It's been so long since we had a new Wallace and Gromit movie. It's been, what, 16 years?
Probably, yeah, like 2008 maybe?
Something. Yeah, I think that's what was like, what
Matter of
Love and Death, yeah, 2008. So yeah, 16 years.
Christ, that's crazy.
Since after it burnt down and everything.
Yeah.
So,
that's kind of wild.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's crazy to think of what. Like, do you remember when it like happened?
I don't remember
when was that?
I don't remember when it burnt down. I think it was like around the time of Loaf and Death, surely.
It must have been.
I feel like
remember it really well.
There was an Aardman Studios fire which kind of knocked out all their like Play-Doh, I guess. I don't know, it's probably not Play-Doh, it's probably clay, isn't it? But you know, still. But like, yeah, it sort of halted them from doing anything with that.
2005. I definitely don't remember. I was 3 years old.
Oh, okay. 2005 it happened. Yeah, you definitely don't fucking remember.
I definitely don't remember. I don't know why I seem to remember it. Unless it's resurfaced after.
It is a resurface. It's like one of those like fun facts. Like, did you know that they burnt down? Yeah. But it's something that I think in my childhood was quite prevalent. Wallace and Gromit. Something I like watched. I think it was around the time of probably Curse of the Wererabbit when that came out in 2006. That was like a big childhood film for me, and like with those original short films, Grand Day Out, Wrong Trousers, Close Shave, and then following on with A Matter of Loaf and Death. It's a big part of your childhood, despite the fact that there's not actually much of it. You've got 4 short films and 1 feature-length film, and now we're getting another feature-length film, which is so exciting to see. And the first Wallace and Gromit, first Wallace and Gromit project, like actual film that's been released since Peter Sellers's death, who obviously voiced Wallace way back when. So there's a new voice actor as well. So there's a lot of interesting stuff about the new one, and we thought it'd be a good time as any to kind of revisit it. Otherwise, you'll be waiting another 16 years for the next Nostalgia Day episode about Wallace and Gromit, because this is the only real time to talk about it.
Don't talk about that, because I do know 38 I'll be.
We'll be here.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about Star Wars episodes 23 and 45. Oh,
yeah, that's true.
Hell.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. George,
hang on, I'm not
38. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Oh, so you'd be 39. You're close.
That's still really scary. Wait, the amount of time between now and the last Wallace and Gromit film
is the equivalent of
now until I'm 40 almost.
30, yeah, basically.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel old. Okay. So we thought we'd sort of talk about it. We did consider doing like a ranking, but I guess we'll just talk about the films,
Yeah, I think we'll both have our favourites or ones we remember.
I have
the
a favourite.
Best.
I have an easy favourite. Yeah.
Wallace and Gromit is definitely a lot of nostalgia for me.
Oh yeah,
like, I think it's so heavily ingrained in British culture.
It is as well, and it's so northern as well. It's very like Yorkshire.
Yeah. It's a girl that I work with that's obsessed with Wallace and Gromit. Her and her boyfriend have Wallace and Gromit wallpapers. So one of them, so he's Wallace, and her wallpaper on her phone's Gromit, and you put them together.
Oh right, on the phone. On the phone. I thought you meant on the actual walls of the.
Oh, no, not that I'm aware of.
They've got Wallace and Gromit wallpaper. I was thinking.
I mean, do you know what?
I wasn't going to judge, but I was thinking that's a little bit mad.
Based.
So going right back to the start. I want to say like 89. Ooh, okay, was I spot on with
Grand
that?
Day Out.
Grand Day Out. 1989. It is the original Wallace and Gromit film, the first Wallace and Gromit short film, half an hour long, well, 20 minutes long. And it was a uni project.
Was it?
Do you not know that? So it was started off,
that.
I believe, I think it started off as a uni project. So this is a bit of lore for you here, yeah. It was started when when Nick Park was in NFTS, or National Film and Television School, in 1985, and Aardman Animations took him on before he finished it. So he was still being funded for the project, whilst also but it was made on an £11,000 budget, which seems like a lot, but it's not. When it comes to like animation, when it comes to years of work, and for that time. I think,
I wonder what the equivalent is to it now, because obviously inflation and stuff. I wonder what £11,000 is now.
Well, let's just use Google for that.
That's true, yeah. Because again, that's not a lot for animation.
No, it's not at all. It'd be about 34 grand now.
Still, Jesus.
Yeah, it's still pretty good. It's nothing, and you can kind of tell, and it's such an adventurous film. I love the. Yeah, I absolutely love it. And I think, like, it was nominated for the Best Animated Short Film at the Academy Awards.
As it should be.
And Creature Comforts, I believe, was the one that won it. And that was also directed by Nick Park. Crazy. Anyway, we're getting too much into the lore, but A Grand Day Out was the very first one. And it's a gorgeous little story, like, of how it was made. I think is probably the most interesting bit, because the fact that it was sort of as he was in, film and TV school making this animation. In 1982, it took him that many years to develop. It's very much the work of like a small number of people. He requested 1,000 kilograms of a specific type of plasticine. And he only was given 10 colours, of which he used to make this the whole film and the characters and everything. And then the final bit of lore, which has been sort of shared around, which I think is brilliant, is Peter Sellers, who is obviously like an established actor at that point, had been in many projects, theatre, TV, and film, etc. He was offered £50 to voice Wallace. Not expecting Peter Sellers to actually consider or accept the deal, but he only had really £50 that he could afford to pay him with. And Peter Sellers said yes. And did it. And was Wallace in the following films up until his death in 2012, 2013, something like that. Or 2017, Christ, even later. So a lovely little story about how this was created. A very humble, a proper creative story. And I think as two people who have like aspirations in film and TV in the industry, it's very nice to see something like this get made, where it is one person's creative project.
Yeah.
Being recognized, being taken on, being funded, and, having a lot of trust put behind it, and how iconic it has then since become. The actual film itself, I don't think it's like the best, but it has some. It's so like humble, and when you look at it from that perspective of Aardman and NFTS's like big sort of deal distributed by BBC, like everyone's sort of. I don't know. It's a humble little story, and I love
proper humble beginnings. Yeah, it's proper humble beginnings. At the Grand Day Out, to be fair, first of all, how the fuck you know this much lore about Wallace and Gromit? It's unbelievable.
I have got the wiki page open, but I did know some of it anyway.
You didn't have to say that. You should have said that.
No, I did know it, but I wanted to make sure it was right.
Grand Day Out is probably, I think, I've definitely seen it in the past, but it's one of those ones that I probably wouldn't go back and revisit, if that makes sense. To be fair, some of the still, it's quite funny. Like there's so many famous like still images from all of Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
And when you go through and look at some of the ones from A Grand Day Out, there's so many like famous ones, and especially it's weird seeing the difference from like the later ones, because you can even see that the art style's completely different. Like the way that Wallace looks, the way that Gromit looks, like you can see the evolution over the time.
I mean, 100%. You can tell this is something that took a lot longer and was something. It's definitely like a almost like a one-man passion project. Obviously, other people worked on this as well, but it very much feels like a longer process, given the fact that this was started in 1982 and was released in 1989.
Yeah,
7 years of probably working
crazy.
on it from any different angle. I just think it's really, really an incredible feat, and it looks incredible. I think the story is so humble as well, and the story is like a perfect little short film. You don't think about it now because it fits into the sort of Wallace and Gromit kind of lore, right? But the whole thing of it just being quite a simple aspect of it's like, This is just a middle-aged Yorkshire man with a dog who likes eating cheese. He runs out of cheese, so simply builds a rocket to go to the moon because the moon is made of cheese. And I just love it. I love the simplicity of it.
Cute.
And I love the little vending machine thing that's on the moon as well. You get there's just a lot of character with no dialogue. And I think that's what Nick Park does incredibly well across all of the Wallace and Gromit projects. With Gromit, but with other characters as well, like Feathers McGraw, right? Like the fucking the dog from Curse of the Wererabbit, right? There's loads of different characters who don't talk and have full expression in this animated style, and there's a mastery of that from day one in like A Grand Day Out with Nick Park. Like, he gets that, and I think it's super impressive from the get-go.
It's an art form, isn't it? It's not even like an animation style. It's an art form. Like, it's just It's a type of filmmaking and art and animation, if you want to call it that, like that you just don't see it by anyone else.
No, I think it's
a mastery of the craft.
It absolutely is, and it's great to see how it develops over time. And it's like, in my head, I'm like, I remember the first one looking like you know how it does. It's like the very first one. It's kind of a lot lower budget, and then I remember the other ones looking great. And I'm actually. Yeah, it's not that it doesn't look great, because it does, and it's incredible.
It looks phenomenal.
But it's like I still see like the dated aspects of it, and I love that. I loved watching like
you can
the
see
Wrong
that
Trousers
it's the first project
as well. It's
you
like,
can see that Grand Day Out is the first project.
Yeah, I just love it. It's the simplicity of the smudges in the clay, like the fingerprints and the thumbprints in it, make it so. Just, I don't know, it's brilliant. It is brilliant, and they do such a good job with it. And then you've got, like, they expand into it. They never, ever once went to the direction of making it CGI.
Yeah.
And I love that.
100%.
I love that.
100%.
That just...
It makes you so happy, CGI just wouldn't have the same feel.
Because they've done it before. Because obviously, like, with Aardman, they've done, like, Flushed Away, for example, which is an CG animated film, and there's similar art style. But, like, Chicken Run is claymation, right? Wallace and Gromit is claymation. They've always sort of excelled in that. And there's such an art to it, and we'll kind of waffle on about that more, especially when we get to Curse of the Wererabbit, because I just watched that last night, and I was just so blown away with some stuff in that film. It's just, I can't even explain how they did it, like, you know. Should we move on to Wrong Trousers?
Yeah, let's keep moving. We might as well keep moving. I mean, we've already touched on Wrong Trousers and Close Shave and stuff, but Wrong Trousers I remember so well from being a kid.
Wrong Trousers is my favourite.
I think it would probably be my favourite as well, I'm not going to lie. I think it's probably the most famous, maybe Curse of the Wererabbit, but...
I think Curse of the Wererabbit was famous for us as kids, definitely, because it was like... It was it was a film. It
was a film, yeah.
I love the step up as well from the budget, going from £11,000 to £650,000 for the Wrong Trousers.
Oh my God.
You can tell it ups, right?
Yeah.
And I just think there's so many incredible bits in the Wrong Trousers. The film in itself it's just a lot to it. There's so many great jokes in it, and I think that's something that expands over the other ones as well. It's like, whenever you keep watching it, it's like the visual humor is excellent. But there's a bit in, like, Curse of the Wererabbit when Wallace is going through like a bookshelf, and all of the books are like famous books, but like with a different type of cheese implemented into the title somewhere, and it's just like, it's so clever. Like, they just throw everything in there. Yeah. But this is the beginning of that, and I think the introducing Feathers McGraw as the villain here is just great. It's so clever. I don't know how they managed to make it work as well as they did. How do you have such confidence in your own ability to be able to create a character like that? Because in all intents and purposes, like, a character that has no actual emotional movement in the face and just blankly stares, how can you give that so much character? I don't know how you do it.
I don't know what it must be something like, I think it is the claymation. Like, I think the claymation just gives it another level. Like, it feels more real, if that makes sense. And knowing that it is properly done with clay and it's not CGI, I think just gives it that extra, like, I don't know. It's such a weird one, isn't it? I 100% agree. It's like, how do you, like, it's bizarre.
It's crazy. And there's so many, again, like, So he's such a menacing character. I know it sounds really
Such a
daft because
good
it is just a
character.
claymation penguin, but it is, and it's so
Yeah.
cleverly put together. And I just you have to respect like something about that just works. And it's like, how do you come up with that idea? Like I can look at it now and go, yeah, that works, and that seems easy. But like to come up with
That
that,
checks out.
and to I know that sounds daft. I feel like we're talking about this quite a lot, but like. It's true. I genuinely don't know how they thought of that and made it work as well as they did. The Wrong Trousers in any ground, I think, is one of the best animated short films ever made. I think
100%.
it's brilliant. I think it's
100%.
really brilliant. I think it's best Wallace and Gromit wise, but I think
Yeah.
just from a story perspective, from a music perspective, from a thing,
Yeah.
the train sequence. Can we talk about the train sequence? Because
Yeah.
I fucking adore the train sequence at the end of the film. So they work out it's whatever. He's trying to get the diamond. He locks Wallace and Gromit in like a cupboard, and then they sort of start to chase him. The penguin gets on the model train, and then as does Gromit and Wallace.
Yeah.
And they're chasing through the house. And like as unrealistic as it may be, with how fast everything's speeding past them, like there's no way the house would be that big. There is a genius to it. And like if you're even if you've never watched The Wrong Trousers in years, you can go back and watch that scene on YouTube and you will watch it and you'll be like, this is just a feat in animation. But not even that, in filmmaking, in storytelling, in music,
Yeah.
film scoring. It's incredible. It genuinely is. The music of that scene is so good. So good. The dilemmas caused on like a model railway when Gromit gets sent off in a different direction and it runs out of track, and then he's building the track as it's like going round to like steer himself. Fucking genius. Like I'm not just talking about like, oh, this dog is fucking genius. I mean, the filmmaking is genius.
It's like
It's so impressive. It's so impressive, and it always
how do you do that with claymation? Like, but it's so fluid. That's the thing.
It's time and effort and patience, isn't
It's
it? And it's
cr- it's
more patience than I'll
crazy.
ever be able to have for a project.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it,
It's
but it's
so crazy because like even though it is claymation, like every frame is done. There is no cutting corners. Like it is so fluid. That's why we question. Well, is it animation? Like it's
yeah.
it's
How do you do
crazy,
it?
the time and and it shows the passion and the time and the energy that
Yeah.
gets put into all of these projects, whether they are 30-minute short films or whether they are like the big features like Curse the Wererabbit.
Yeah.
Like it's bonkers. It must take forever to do. I'd love to know what the shooting time is for these.
Yeah, I feel
Like,
the
for
first one was
30-minute short
long,
film.
but this one I feel like I don't know how long this.
I guess it's a bigger team.
I guess at this point, yeah. I don't know when they started making it. It doesn't really say how long it took.
I
to
wonder if they have like different teams, so they're doing like multiple scenes or going at a time. Like I can't imagine they do it like we will do this scene today, this scene tomorrow, like that kind of thing. They must have like 4 different departments who do different scenes.
They must do. Well, production began in 1990, so this one took 3 years to make,
Yeah,
as opposed to the 7 of the first film. So this is, yeah.
and then you've got to build all the models. You've got to come up with the ideas for all the models. So you've got to design all the train stations, or like Feathers McGraw. Like you've got to design it all.
You've got to do all of it, and
Yeah.
it's so just clever. Like some of it, you get like the Is this the one with the? Oh no, that's. I'm thinking of Close Shave now. I'm trying to get them mixed up because I'm thinking like what like sequences are in this. I love like the sequence where Wallace is like asleep and the Trousers take him into the art gallery to steal the diamond. I've never felt like stress and anxiety like watching that scene. Like it's insane how they managed to do it. Like the animation is so fluid for a start, but like the way they make the trousers move so rigidly, but Wallace's body like hangs so limply. It's like there's a talent to that. You don't think about that,
It's
but
an
it is.
artistic talent,
It's such
isn't
an art form, and it's there's again, it's time, it's passion, it's energy, it's love.
Yeah,
And because it's a passion project, it's not. This is what I love about Aardman as a production studio, is they don't rush art. They let it happen at the speed it needs to happen, and they give it the money it needs. Right? You have companies nowadays like Marvel and all that sort of thing, right? Who use CGI, which is basically another form of animation, effectively. And they use like CGI and green screen elements, and they've rushed their CGI artists out of the gate. Like, this film has to come out this date because we need to hit this and this and this and this. These targets, this audience, this audience, this audience. That's why we're getting films with terrible CGI. Whereas Aardman, You have a film that could take 3, 4, 5 years to make, and they will make it. And they will make sure that it's good before it comes out. They will iron it out. They will make it just brilliant. They can't, because you can't rush this type of animation. You can't rush any type of animation. You have to let an art form be an art form, and you have to let creatives be creative. Otherwise, you lose something that's important there. I see it's sort of, for like a video game analogy, I'd sort of say Aardman are similar to Rockstar in that respect. They take their time, they make sure that everything's ironed out, and they release a wholly brilliantly made product at the end of it. It's not about rushing something out for financial gain. It's about making good quality products.
Yeah.
And
coming up with new ways of doing it, coming up with new,
And I'm sure Vengeance Most Foul will be another example of that. I'm sure the new one this year will be as brilliant as the other ones. And given that it's taken them a long time to make it, and given that it's like 2024 now, and they've got a bigger team and just better technology, it's probably going to look like the best one yet. And I'm so excited to see how they go about that.
Yeah,
but
100% agree. It's you hit all the nails on the head there. It's
I waffle. Sorry.
No. It's you've hit it all on the head. It's like for me is we constantly go back to the animation. For me, it's like, and I think we say I genuinely think with Vengeance Most Foul. I know we will get to it, but I genuinely think it's going to be a case of you genuinely will question whether it's CG because it'll be that good.
Yeah, I think it will. Even from the trailer, I'm looking at it and I'm like, it feels like it could be CG, and it's really, really.
Would you like to move on to Close?
We can talk
Shave?
about Close Shave. Yeah. What do you think of Close Shave?
Close Shave I don't get me wrong. I love all the Wallace and Gromit, which features short. But again, it's like it's one of the ones I probably wouldn't. If I was to choose to watch Wallace and Gromit, I probably wouldn't be one of.
I think it's probably at the bottom of the list, and I don't know why that is, because it's still good. Like I watched it the other day, and I thought it was good. I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
it came out a
it's
couple years
weird
later,
one, isn't it?
So this one must have started production God knows when, but like it only came out 2 years after Wrong Trousers.
Yeah,
I think it's good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I think just the story maybe isn't as interesting, but all the elements are there. I love the creepy robot dog. That's fun.
Yeah, true.
I love the little romance subplot. Played by fucking Anne Reid of all people, who I fucking love Anne Reid. Like there's just some really great stuff in this. I don't think it's my favorite, and it's probably the one that I'd be least likely to head back to. It's also in the sort of Shaun the Sheep cinematic universe.
Based as fuck that Shaun is canon. And
I'm gonna just wait for you to like.
My camera's completely gone.
There you go. There we go.
Yeah,
introducing Shaun the Sheep for the first time in the Wallace and Gromit cinematic universe. I don't know.
Bro's had so many spin-offs, bro.
Honestly,
Bro's carried Aardman for years. Wallace and Gromit.
I quite like Shaun the Sheep, but
I like a good Shaun the Sheep.
I don't know. It sort of feels weirdly out of place in this. I don't think I hate it. I love it, and it's great. Like I can't knock it, but I just do think I'm like, like I kind of feel like it's the one that I'd visit the least. But there's some great bits in it. I love, again, like talking about the animation style, the porridge gun at the beginning where Wallace gets like splattered in the face with porridge. It's like, how the fuck do they create that effect of and then like being able to wipe that off? Like, what is it made out of? Something like, different?
Even,
like, I don't
even like when the porridge goes in the bowl in the first scene when he drops through the ceiling. It's like that. It's like how do you make it so fluid? Like how do you do like how many still images must you do to make it look so fluid? Like
it is mad.
Crazy.
And but I think this has some great bits, and I love the bike chase as well. It feels kind of like they're doing like an Indiana Jones kind of thing, because I know like The Last Crusade, like the third Indiana Jones film, had the little motorbike and sidecar chase. So I do kind of wonder if there's a little bit of inspiration from that. But yeah, I can't lie, I do love it, and it's got a lot of
chase.
I enjoy it, and it's a lot of fun. I do like that the one thing that stops them being together is the fact that she doesn't like cheese. I think is one of the best like little mini jokes in the series.
To be 100% honest.
Also, seeing the in context clip of Wallace being like, "Someone's been at me cheese," is crazy after seeing it on so many TikTok edits. It's crazy seeing it in context. Whenever you that's just a strange experience. But yeah, I enjoy it. I don't think it's bad. Yeah. I just don't have as much to say about A Close Shave. It's fun. Maybe I'm not a big sheep guy.
I think Close Shave is still one of the more famous ones. I think.
Well, it's part of that original trilogy of short films, right?
Yeah.
Because they made this in 1995, and then there wasn't one for another 10 years, and that was the feature-length film.
Jesus, wow.
Yeah, so it was 10 years between that as well.
Yeah.
But this was all before we were born.
Literally. It's crazy, isn't it?
So let's have a look. We can have a look at
cracking contraptions. I don't really remember.
Cracking contraptions? What the fuck is that?
It's just when you Google Wallace and Gromit movies, apparently cracking contraptions comes up next.
Is that like a TV show or some shit? That's not a film.
I think it's a mini. I think
Wallace
it's a mini.
and Gromit. Cracking contraptions. Oh,
I think it's like a mini series.
Maybe like a mini web series or something.
Yeah.
British series of 10 Wallace and Gromit stop-motion animations varying from a length of 1 to 3 minutes. Each episode features one of Wallace's new inventions and Gromit's skeptical reaction to it. Produced and released in 2002 by Aardman Animations. That makes sense. I remember the football one. I do remember the football one with Gromit, where he's like sort of in like football gear and Wallace is just firing footballs at him. I kind of remember that. I didn't realise this was like a whole thing, but cool. Yeah, that's fun.
I don't remember.
They did like a lot of like experimental stuff, I guess, just to keep the character and like them in the public eye, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. I don't think I have anything to say about that because I can't fucking remember it at all. But
I don't think I've seen. I generally don't know if I've seen these. I'm just watching some of it now. It's kind of mad, bro. The football scene animation's mental. For
you watch it. You literally start watching it now. Yeah.
It's crazy.
There's some good stuff on there. But then I guess they could probably do that because they've only got like a couple of bits here and there.
But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen them. I have to go and watch them because I don't think I've ever seen them.
I might check that out after this. I'm not really too sure. Mm-hmm. But like jumping to Curse of the Wererabbit, I mean, it's a fucking huge step up, obviously, because it's a feature film with like a $30 million budget.
Jesus.
So like you already get like another level there. But this film is genuinely like
it's so
insane how good it is. Not just the story, not just the jokes. Like, you know what I wasn't expecting? The fucking adult jokes. I wasn't expecting that. Now, I do remember there's a one in Loaf and Death, which is like where because like they're making like a bread company, and then there's like Wallace meets this woman who is in like a bread commercial, and he's like, you know, I'm inbred myself, and Gromit just like pulls a face at the camera, and I'm like, that's amazing. Did not like there's a joke in this in Curse of the Wererabbit where like Lady Tottington is kind of flirting with Wallace in her like botanical garden, and she's like, oh Victor never pays attention to my needs or something like that. Meanwhile, she's standing with two like melons in front of her.
I remember this,
and I'm like, wow. I mean, I was impressed mainly because I'm like, I do not remember that as a kid. But yeah, like I this is such a great film. Not only like great just from like a filmmaking perspective, but also the cast was like stacked as fuck as well.
Yeah,
like Ralph Fiennes playing like Victor, Helena Bonham Carter playing Lady Tottingham, and
it's unbelievable.
Peter Kay as like the police officer. Like there's some great cast members in this, like funny cast members. But this is so much.
I think this is the most famous Wallace and Gromit.
Possibly. I think because it's a feature film as well. Yeah. It's so.
They used to play this all the time on like on BBC and on like CBBC and stuff like that.
Yeah, to be fair.
When I was a kid, that's definitely when I've watched it. Like the scene, like when they're in the van and they're doing the massive rabbit on the roof.
Oh
like that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
yeah. There's some great
All
bits
that with
in it.
Gromit in the back with the
But
van.
so many jokes and so many great bits of humor, so many impressive bits. One of my favorite jokes in this is when they're doing like a town hall meeting and they're like the vicar comes in and he's like describing like the Wererabbit and he's seen it and he's doing this like whole like speech about it and all this sort of thing, and the music's like ramping up and then it's like the organ strikes really harshly and then the police officer turns around and goes, give over, will you? And it's just a woman at the organ in the church playing it like really dramatically.
Yes.
I'm like, that's such a good joke.
I love that kind of humor.
Such a good
kind
joke.
of humor.
It's stuff like that and like
Yeah.
the whole film is just fucking full of
It's so
great
good.
moments, and the cinematography is stunning. Like
It's
I love the fact
unbelievable.
that you can just. I love the fact that also like how many different sets there were here as well. Just like you can just Google like Curse of the Wererabbit behind the scenes, and you will be hit with so many incredible, mind-boggling behind the scenes photos of them just like how small the houses were and like the level of detail they had there. And there's like a giant like just person next to it with these tiny little clay figures, and I'm like, how the fuck did they get it that good with the cameras and everything? Like how? It's just so impressive. You just sort of forget that it's clay animated, you know? It's genuinely so impressive and like...
And this is all
I don't
claymation as well, this one.
Yeah.
The Wererabbit.
Yeah.
How on
Which has like
earth-
fur as well.
Exactly.
So I'm sort of like,
It's like
I presume that's
fluffy.
obviously like a fluffy... They probably just got like a fluffy model
Yeah.
for that. But like, I don't
But it
think that
looks
was made out of clay, but like
phenomenal.
it's insane. But you use a lot of different
It's
elements. I was as a kid, I was like, oh,
crazy.
everything's made out of clay, but like, no, not everything is made out of clay. Like the eyes are like
the
ceramic.
base level
like
of it all,
the houses and stuff are probably built out of like plastic and card and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But the characters themselves are, and it's so just, I don't know, it's great. It's such
It's
a clever.
unbelievable, isn't it? It's so good.
I'm just in awe constantly of the
Yeah.
sheer level of creativity and filmmaking that comes with these things. I really am. Like,
It's for me. It's like there's nothing. Like I can't compare it to anything because I truly believe there's nothing of this level.
no,
There's nothing there's nothing that is this level of dedication, this level of craftsmanship,
No, not
like
at
this
all.
level of animation. Like there's so many different variations of animation.
it gets the level of like British humor like spot on as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it kind of. It does get it spot on. It feels like authentic and funny and sort of classical. That's the one thing I love about Wallace and Gromit. Is it never feels like it's happening in the modern day. It always feels like
Yeah.
it's sort of like an old-fashioned British kind of thing. But that also makes it timeless because of that. And I kind of hope in the new Wallace and Gromit, like they're not walking around where people have like smartphones and stuff. They might do. They might try and set it in the modern day, but I'm kind of hoping that like it's just this kind of timeless old British village like it is here, where it's almost like Hot Fuzz-esque. I mean, they're all getting excited over a vegetable competition. I mean, that's the whole thing, and I love that.
A Wallace and Gromit time travel short though, that would go hard.
Would kind of go hard.
Wallace invents a time machine.
Oh god, yeah. Well, they could very easily do a Doctor Who parody with that. Just turn it into like just make it like a normal phone box.
Aardman Doctor Who would be so funny.
Yeah, I would kind of kill to see that.
I wouldn't hold
Oddman are
it-
doing
I-
a Pokemon.
They're
thing,
doing a
aren't they?
Pokemon one, yeah.
I'll let you waffle
So,
about that.
to be honest, there's not really much announced. I just saw and I was like, I genuinely was like, what? Like,
Yeah.
I thought it wasn't real when I first saw it. Why is my camera freaking out today? My camera's going
It's
buggy
tweaking.
today.
It's tweaking.
Bro's just wanted to look at my background. Like, what the
There you
hell? Yeah, like the Pokemon Aardman. I saw the teaser thing for it with the clay Pokemon. I was like, what? I was like, surely not. And I had to like double check to make sure that Aardman was who I thought it was. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, where? I was like, I literally like my reaction now is what my reaction was to it. I'm like, what universe are we living in where the Wallace and Gromit animation team are doing?
It's mad. But they did an episode of
Do the
Star Wars
collaboration.
Visions, didn't they?
Did they?
They did one a couple years ago. I've not seen it, but I'm pretty sure they did a Star Wars Visions episode
Did they?
done by Aardman because it was like claymation
Really? Which episode was it?
from series 2.
Oh, I've not seen season 2, but that makes sense now that I can see it.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's very Aardman. style.
So, do you know what? I'm so down for Oddman collabs, like Pokemon. Star
Yeah, I
Wars.
think they're doing a good little thing by like kind of collabing.
Oddman Doctor Who would go hard.
Doctor Who couldn't afford that. They
Disney
couldn't
though.
afford that collab. Yeah, that's fun. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see them. Like, I love when Aardman get involved and do stuff like that. When like Wallace and Gromit is like obviously coming out this Christmas again. Like they're putting a lot of money into like BBC idents as well. They're doing a lot of like Wallace and Gromit themed idents. I think it's just great. I think it just says a lot about the production.
One of the things
level,
I love about and that's for BBC in general. Like they do so many ident collabs. Like there's so many great Doctor Who ones. Like
they need to bring them back a little bit, mind. They haven't done them in a few years. Yeah,
like the BBC logo when the TARDIS comes flying past. It's like the Christmas ones when
the Christmas one. There's the David Tennant one was the classic one.
The David Tennant one's the classic one.
TARDIS is buried in the snow and there's loads of reindeer, and then he like puts them all up, and then he's sat on the TARDIS like being flown by reindeer. How sick is that? Never done that since, but you know, good on you, BBC.
But I can't wait. Yeah.
I don't know what else there is to say about this. I think the cast performances are brilliant, and I think the jokes are some of the best in the series. Like, they really put a lot of time into making this good. Did this win an Oscar? Kind of feeling like maybe it did. Yeah, it won Best Animated Feature at the Academy Awards.
As it should.
It won Best British Film at the BAFTAs.
It won Best British Film at the BAFTAs.
Yeah.
Wow.
Outstanding British Film. There's so many awards that it won. And rightfully fucking so. It's brilliant. I remember playing the video game of this. I have very like nostalgic memories of playing the video game for Curse of the Wererabbit as a kid.
There's a video game?
Yeah, there was like a video game tie-in. It's very like that is CGI animated, as you come to expect. But it was like properly developed.
Really?
I'm trying to remember what the whole
on PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2. It's that old.
Wow, I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah, I think I
That's
played
cool.
it very briefly, but I can't really remember too much about it. It's one of those like weirdly
It's on the
like
original
nostalgic
Xbox and PlayStation 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Why? I never
Fun
ever
stuff.
knew this was a thing.
Yeah, I played that as a kid. Definitely, I remember it being advertised everywhere as well, alongside the film.
Looking forward to the Rockstar adaptation of Vengeance Must Fall.
That'd be crazy. Not gonna lie, that was in the age of like video game adaptations of films, though.
Yeah.
Remember when they did like the Batman Begins video game and stuff? They're usually shit, but like
I did Finding Nemo one.
Finding Nemo. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. I remember that.
Lion King. There was a Lion King one as well.
Yeah.
They did loads of them.
Madagascar. That was a classic.
Yes, the Madagascar one. Yeah, I had that one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That did loads. Cars, like some weird like.
They have to.
Yeah, like do you ever watch G-Force? This is fucking going on a tangent.
Jesus
the guinea
Christ.
pig.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
There was a game adaptation of that as well that I had on the Nintendo DS. That's a deep cut, but
Jesus Christ.
that's a deep cut.
Yeah. I fucking G-Force, man. That's a walk in many fucking memories. Let's have a look at what's next then. So we had that, and then A Matter of Loaf and Death, which came out a couple of years later. I don't know what the meaning of this one was. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why they made this. Not that it's not that I'm complaining. No, it just feels very out of place. So you had a trilogy of short films, then a feature film, and then a couple of years later, another short film.
Another short film.
And then not for 16 years since.
I wonder if this was already in development
Possibly.
after the accident.
Well, let's have a look. Production. October 2007, it was announced that Wallace and Gromit was to television after an absence of 10 years. The new short film. Trouble at Mill, it was called initially. Filming began in January 2008. Production period was short. For the short was significantly quicker than the feature-length films Chicken Run and Curse of the Wererabbit, which each took 5 years to complete. Matter of Life and Death was the first Aardman film to be used. It's made using the software Stop Motion Pro. 5 models were created for Gromit alone, with scenes being shot simultaneously on 13 sets. Wow.
Yeah.
It was made directly for a British audience. Yeah. Fun. I think that kind of works. I I just wasn't sure like what the thought was behind it. I guess like fair enough. This was after the whole thing had burnt down, so maybe that wasn't anything to do with that. But this is a good one. I haven't actually rewatched this. Maybe I'll rewatch. I'll probably rewatch this one before Christmas. But I do remember it being very good. I remember it being quite funny. There's the whole love interest, which is like the baker-like girl. Yeah, again.
Yeah.
But she's like she's like a murderer though. Like that's the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So she like murders bakers.
Yeah.
And she's trying to murder. She's trying to get like a baker's dozen, right? She's trying to kill 13 bakers.
Yeah.
Very funny, daft,
clever
writing. Yeah. No, I love it. I don't have as much to say about this again, but the same stuff applies. Like the cinematography of it is brilliant. The creativity behind it, the storytelling, the writing, everything is brilliant, and it all gives me sort of hope going into the new one. And that's kind of what excites me the most, I think, about like there being a new Wallace and Gromit film. It is an event. Everyone is talking about this.
It's mega. It's that's what I'm saying. It's so ingrained in the British culture. It's like it's mega. Like like this Christmas alone, and I know this isn't releasing on Christmas, is it?
It is, yeah.
Is it? It's releasing on Christmas Day. I thought it was releasing on.
It's on Christmas Day
online.
No, it's on Christmas Day in the UK. It'll be coming out on BBC One and iPlayer on Christmas Day, and then it'll be worldwide on Netflix from the 3rd of January.
Yeah, like Christmas is such a massive like the Christmas special culture in the UK is so mega. Like, and this year it is so unbelievably stacked.
Yeah,
like new Wallace and Gromit after 16 years, Doctor Who Christmas special, Gavin and Stacey finale. Like, it is mega what we're getting this Christmas. It's like what? Like, there's no fucking time to have your Christmas dinner this Christmas because
like
you're watching.
Do you watch stuff on Christmas?
Doctor Who I will watch on Christmas, and then I'll usually watch it again. Doctor Who I'll watch on Christmas, but then I'll watch it again. So last year's I watched on Christmas and then watched it again afterwards
on Boxing Day. Or after,
and then I watched it again on Boxing Day. Gavin and Stacey, we will 1000% watch on Christmas Day because there's no fucking way I'm having that spoiled.
Yeah, that's fair enough, honestly.
Wallace and Gromit, I'll probably watch on Boxing Day.
I'll wait because it's a film as well. It's like it's 79 minutes.
Yeah.
It's almost like an hour and a half.
King's Speech, of course, standard.
Oh, I think you meant the film.
Oh no, I forgot that. Yeah, I forgot it's a film.
I don't know if I'll watch.
It's usually the Queen's Speech, isn't it?
Yeah.
We usually have it on because we usually have BBC on the back because we like sit down and have like a long Christmas dinner, and we have a telly in our kitchen, and we'll usually put like BBC on or something like that, and usually it'll just come on.
So yeah, I was for Christmas we sort of traditionally never had the TV on. We never turned the TV on Christmas Day. We always just kind of detached from it, had dinner, played board games, sort of spent time as a family, and then on Boxing Day, that was a sort of catch up. But I feel like, well, in most recent years, the two more recent Doctor Who Christmas specials, Twice Upon a Time and the one last year, the Church on Ruby Road, I watched that on Christmas Day. Because at that point I can sort of go, well, you know, I've got a Doctor Who YouTube channel, you know, I've got to know what's going on. I don't want to get anything spoiled.
But then you could argue no work on Christmas.
No. I don't consider it work. I just want to watch Doctor Who. But yeah, it's so stacked this year, especially BBC. Well, mainly BBC One. I don't think anything else is as stacked as the BBC is. But like the
BBC has destroyed every other channel on Christmas.
It actually has.
I saw a meme about the other day being like, what? Like everything BBC has coming out on Christmas, and there's like ITV. It's like
nothing. Yeah,
nothing.
But you've got like Wallace and Gromit. You've got Gavin and Stacey. You've got Outnumbered coming back. You've got Doctor Who. You've got so many different things on that are so like exciting. I think BBC are really trying this year to get people in for Christmas Day, and I respect that greatly. Like, I really do.
Yeah.
But like, my family tradition has never been watching TV on Christmas, but I feel like there'll probably be more exception to it. I don't know when I'm gonna watch Vengeance Most Foul because I don't know how many people are gonna want to watch it in my family.
Yeah.
Because it's a film. It's sort of like, when are we going to watch it? But that's something that maybe I guess I'll try and finesse with my parents to let me watch it, because I would love to.
I think I'll probably watch it on Boxing Day, or I'll watch it a couple of days afterwards, like when everything dies, because I've got quite a busy Christmas Boxing Day and then post Boxing Day as well.
Yeah.
So I might end up watching it like the 20th, 29th, like just before New Year.
Well, there is also, I mean, there's plenty of exciting stuff coming out around Christmas, especially on Boxing Day as well.
Yeah.
Loads of stuff going out on Boxing Day.
It's mega. It's absolutely mega.
There's a massive thing coming out on Boxing Day that people at home should remember to check out, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's true.
Potentially, maybe
That's
a
true.
Nostalgia Bit Christmas special, which you might want to
maybe
check out.
in person and maybe a long one.
Anyway,
Might be absolute peak.
might be absolute shit either because we haven't recorded it yet. We don't know if it's going to be any good.
It could be absolute carnage. It could be. And to be honest, it probably will be carnage
Nah, it'll be
because
great.
alcohol is going to be consumed and
It will.
probably will descend into anarchy.
I think alcohol might have already been consumed for the sense of it. Anyway, yeah, I'm very excited to see the new Wallace and Gromit. I have very high hopes for it. Obviously a new voice actor for Wallace, but I think he sounds great.
Yeah, he does.
He's been
you know
doing
who it
voice
is?
acting. He's called Ben Whitehead. He has been doing like voices of Wallace for ages, but like in different things. So he's been doing them in the video games, and short and like little shorts like for BBC Proms and stuff. Whenever that's been a thing, then he's been there playing Wallace, and he did stand in for Wallace for Peter Sallis when they were doing Matter of Loaf and Death as well. So yeah, I genuinely thought when Peter Sallis died that would be it,
that was it
for Wallace and Gromit. I thought that's that because they can't do it. But actually, I think Ben Whitehead seems to be fucking sound at it, and he seems to get the voice really down. It might not be exactly the same, but in the same sense, like with like Rick and Morty, right? I quite enjoyed some of the new series when I was watching it, and that's completely new cast.
I've not watched any of the new season
because it's a new voice cast for Rick and Morty, and two different people playing them. And actually, I don't think they're that bad. I would say in some scenes, I would say that might even be better. I don't know.
Oh,
I just think there's a different level to it, but I don't mind it, is what I'm saying. Like, I can still believe that they're the same characters, and it's still so close enough, and I'm hoping it's the same with Wallace. From the trailer, it seems like it's going to be. And also, fucking Reece Shearsmith's in this, so let's go.
True.
Love that.
True.
Love Reece Shearsmith playing the fucking smart gnome. Great.
Smart gnome.
Yeah, perfect.
What a fucking... I love it. I love it so... I can't wait for it, actually. It's going to be so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very...
I just can't wait for Christmas. It's going to be so
Christmas is fun.
good.
We're in the season, aren't we? Well and truly in the season.
True.
So, before we go into just news, we haven't got anything lined out yet, but I feel like we should probably just say that keep an eye out on our social media and Discord over the next week, as well, the next few days actually, as we'll be probably asking a few things of you for the upcoming filming of the Christmas special, whether that be some voicemail dial-ins for you guys, or some questions and answers and all that sort of thing. We're going to really try and get you involved with the Christmas special, so keep an eye out over the next couple of days before we record it. And that Christmas special will be coming out on December 26th, Boxing Day. So keep an eye out for that, because it's going to be fucking amazing.
It's going to be lit.
But yeah,
I'm so excited for it.
I'm excited for that. So for perspective, we're going to film it in 6 days.
A week today. Oh no, 6 days today. Sorry, not a week today.
I was going to say,
as well as something else.
I was going to say it.
As well as something else. Maybe. And
anyway, just news time. I think.
Just news time. Let me find my just news story. So this one, you know what?
It's going to be wildly inappropriate compared to like the lovely Wallace and Gromit conversation we've been having.
You know what? No, do you know what? No, it's northern.
Yes! Northern. How northern?
From metro.co.uk. Greg's loving runner takes on 9,600 calorie sausage roll eating marathon. Absolute cinema.
Oh, I'm locked in. Go on, then.
A Greg's loving runner consumed 9,600 calories of sausage rolls when he scoffed his way between each of the bakery's 29 branches in Newcastle.
We used to have more, man. We used to be a real country.
We used to be 30.
There used to be like 36.
Something.
I'm sure it was like 36 was the number, or 32 maybe.
But we need to break this down because there's some like. Did he go to the Phoenix one? Did he go to the Primark one?
Okay, yeah.
That's what we need to break down.
Yeah.
Did
this
he
is
go
a
to
thing.
the, like,
As
restaurant one?
Geordies, we have a very good... Newcastle has a significant amount of Greggs. I think it's probably the most Greggs per populace, or maybe per like city or something. I mean, it says 29, but it's definitely in the 30s, and there's ones where it's like on the two opposite street corners, two different Greggs.
I have a friend who goes to Newcastle Uni, and when he goes in for his lunch, he goes to Greggs, and he has a route that he takes before he goes to his lecture theatre, because it hits about 4 different Greggs, so he knows which one. Like, he'll basically go to the first one, be like, oh, it's too busy, go to the next one, oh, it's too busy, then go to the third one, like, oh, it's dead, so you'll go to that one.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Bradley Whalen Griffiths loves the bakery's products so much that he built it into his 26-mile training routine.
Honestly,
over the course of...
I fucking respect that, because the sausage rolls at Greggs are, like, the best.
True. Over the course of 5.5 hours, Bradley from South Shields, South Tyneside, spent £36.80 scoffing 29 of the savoury pork treats.
I can't lie.
Much is that?
5.5 hours, 29 sausage rolls. That, look, no judgment. That's quite a lot. See, I'm not even looking at price. I'm looking at, like, right, 29 divided by, this is 5.5.
It's 5.5, yeah.
That's 5 sausage rolls an hour.
But then when you're running, though, as well, you have to think.
I think I could, I don't know.
Do you reckon you could beat that? 6 sausage rolls an hour?
Yeah, but without the running.
Yeah, I was going to say, but without the run in between.
Yeah.
Each contains 331 calories, meaning Bradley ate twice as much as he'd burned and nearly 4 times the daily recommended amount for a man.
Bloody hell. 4 times the daily recommended amount.
It's true, if you open the article, you can see the map that he took. You can see his Strava. I started to struggle in the city centre as there are so many Greggs close to one. That's true as well.
There is.
Never thought
so
about
many.
that. It's 5.5 hours, but obviously it's going to be different distribution, isn't it?
Yeah.
Close to one another. Like, there's somewhere it's just around the corner where there's others where you'd probably have to go about 5 minutes to get to the next one.
You'd run an hour to have one, and then within the next hour you'd have about 12. You know, it could be like that, yeah.
It's not like evenly distributed, yeah.
Also, how long is it fucking taking him? Should he spending more time in the queue at Greggs than he is actually running? Not to be judgmental, but if you're training for like a marathon, get off your fucking arse and stop eating sausage rolls. Like...
Greg's the close one. I was eating and running. The ship navigation officer said I can polish off 6 sausage rolls easily, but this was some feat even for me. Jesus. Bradley undertook the challenge as part of his training for the 34-mile Lakeland Trails Ultra Marathon in the Lake District next summer. He said, I have to get used to to eating while running, although I don't think you're supposed to eat sausage rolls. That map is mental.
Shit. Yeah, the map is crazy.
Starts up next near Kenton and comes all the way down.
I have a feeling I know what this is for. Is he trying to get sponsored by Greggs for his marathon?
Mate, that's... Do you know what? If he is, then fair fucking play.
But then be upfront, say it. Get Greg's attention on that.
I saw other people had walked around all the Greggs before, but that wasn't enough of a challenge.
Blimey.
My go-to Greggs order is a katsu chicken bake.
Fucking
but the sausage
What's
roll
wrong with
is
you?
iconic, and
the sausage roll. The sausage roll is the one.
The katsu chicken bakes are brand new. They've only been out for like a month and a half,
such
2 months.
Look, I know I live in London, but that's such a fucking posh fucking Tory London answer of like, oh yes, my favourite Greggs order is the katsu chicken bake. Fuck off and have a sausage roll, you twats.
We've already had this conversation on the podcast.
We have.
Mine's either a steak bake or
acceptable
sausage, bean and cheese melt.
Also acceptable.
With a tea and a caramel custard donut.
We've had problems with, but I can accept
it. Bro,
I
had like...
Look, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I've got the reusable tea Greggs cups that I use every day.
Oh.
What's that about? Saving 10 pence on my cup of tea, and then I get a free one after I bought 9. Yes, please. Fucking yes, please.
Okay.
No comment. He then headed to the West End and along the quayside past the Tyne Bridge.
Okay.
Bradley started at Greggs, he started the first one, which opened its first store in Newcastle in 1951 on Kingston Park in the west of the city.
Have I been to that Greggs? Let's have a look. Kingston Park.
Just put first Greggs.
Greggs. Yeah, you know, I'm trying to find the Greggs, man. I don't care about Kingston Park. I want Greggs. Okay. That's the first one? Where the fuck is that? That's well out of the way.
Is it Gosforth? What?
That's in Kenton. That tells you why, doesn't it?
I think I know this one.
It's near, it's near like Westerhope.
Because it's not the one that I thought it was.
It's on the way to Gosforth.
Yeah.
That's the first Greggs in Newcastle. Get a fucking grip, Greggs. Come on.
Because that was the first one. Because that was the first one that got a drive-through.
Was it? There's a one in Britton.
Yeah, there is now, but there was a drive-through the Gosforth, near the Gosforth one for ages before that one.
Fair enough.
Started the first store at the opening Kingston Park in the west of the city. He then headed to the west end and along the quayside past the Tyne Bridge.
Love that.
He grabbed another sausage roll at the store in Walker in the east before heading back to finish in the city centre. He said, I ate around 9,600 calories, but only burned off half of that, so I ate a bit lighter the next day.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I didn't get a stitch while I was running. That's impressive.
That is impressive.
A friend joked about doing a festive bake marathon, but I think that might be too heavy. 100% it
Your friend's full of good crap, mate. Yeah, that's top bank like that. Fair play to him. You know what? Give credit where it's due. We're not going to criticise. He's done an absolute. He's gone around Newcastle. He's having a sausage roll in every Greggs. Love to see it.
It's a great idea.
Even if his favourite is the Katsu chicken bake.
That is criminal.
It's a banging idea. That is actually borderline paedophilic. But this is.
I wasn't going to say it.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah. That's class. Fair play, lad. Cool. Fair play.
Yeah,
fair play. Making me want a Greggs now.
That is true.
I'm getting a bit peckish.
I could destroy a Greggs.
I honestly, if I had like a sausage roll in front of me right now, I'd just fucking demolish it in one.
Devour it.
Honestly,
I might go and get. I need to go anyway, so I might go and get a Greggs after this.
You motherfucker! There's not many in London.
Send you
There's really not. You know,
because fucking Pret a Manger's every.
We've got
fucking
Pret. That's what we get. We get fucking Pret,
corner,
which is just like over expensive, indulgent Tory fucking £6-7 for a
Pret
thin
is the
fucking meatball wrap.
Pret is the the London equivalent of Greggs, because if you stand in front of a Pret, you can see two from wherever you're standing.
That's true. I'd also say Wenzel's is probably more like a Greggs equivalent.
Wenzel.
Do you know what Wenzel's is?
I don't think I've ever been to Wenzel's.
I've been in London too long. Wenzel's is like the Greggs of London, because it's like fresh baked stuff, sandwiches.
Yeah.
It's very much Greggs, but again, more expensive.
By Pret, I meant like
Greggs is
Pret, I meant like it's everywhere, like how Greggs is everywhere up here.
I know we've had this conversation before, but how much is like a sausage roll in Newcastle in Greggs at the minute?
Sausage roll's like £1.25.
Is it? Fuck.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost £2 in like
London
my God.
King's Cross now. The bakes are about £2 now in Newcastle.
Mad. Used to be 80p.
I know.
Fucking hell.
Scam. To be fair, Greggs breakfast though. Still so good.
I don't think I've been. I genuinely don't think I've been into a Greggs and ordered anything bar a sausage roll ever.
Greggs breakfast is one of the greatest.
I wouldn't ever want to go into a Greggs and be disappointed. And I always want to have the sausage roll.
Greggs bacon sausage sandwich and a drink for like £3. It's fucking a no-brainer. And the buns, my goodness. Greggs have some good-ass buns.
Greggs is double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon.
Hella. Anyway, thank you so much for listening or watching this episode of Nostalgia Debate. If you enjoyed and you are listening on Spotify, please leave us a hearty 5-star review.
Has to be hearty.
It always, always, always helps. If you're on YouTube, please leave a comment on... What's your favourite Wallace and Gromit? I will not talk about the Just News Show. And if you're an avid Greggs lover, leave your Greggs order. We always love to see it.
I do.
Make sure you leave us a like as well. And subscribe if you are not already subscribed. Make sure you check out TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all of the social medias.
Yeah.
We love you, and we will see you next week for
Christmas.
I mean, we might see you a little bit sooner.
Don't tease it. Have a lovely Christmas, everyone. And you'll see us
you next week.
Definitely next Thursday.
Definitely next Thursday. Maybe
also something before, but we don't know.
Yeah.
You never know. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out, bitches.
Gotta keep you on your toes.
Keep you on your toes. And we'll see you properly next Thursday on Boxing Day. Have a lovely Christmas, fuckers.
Have a lovely Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
And we'll see you next week.